Hi, welcome to another video. This is Mr. Chow from EnglishTuition.org. So as you know, the results for the O-levels have already been released last Friday. Alright, so this is an update of the results for my students only. But you're looking for news on the general results for the O-levels batch, this is not the video and you can turn it off right now. But if you're interested and keen to find out, right, how the latest batch of my students do for the O-levels, please stay tuned, right? So let's get started. Well, we start with the N-levels, now also known as the G2. Two students take the N-levels this year. So IS started with the C range, so I have him for a year. His concern is passing his English, okay, maintaining the pass for his English and hopefully get a B result, right? And for the N-level results, he actually gotten a B4. Now, for those taking the G2, the N-levels, right, B4 is kind of an average result. The problem is that for B4, you cannot apply for the Poly Foundation program. Okay, and most N-level students actually aim to go to Polytechnic. You can still apply for the DPP, which is the route taking the ITE towards Poly, but the courses are somewhat limited. So B4, well, he's happy, right? But also a little bit disappointed because he did well for his maths and science, but could not make it to PFP. So he's going back to Sec 5 to take the O-levels. All right, that's IS. As for JY started with the B range, and this boy, his English is usually not bad. He's already in the B range, so it's all about maintaining and boosting the scores, right? So he get A2 for English for his N-level, so he's happy with this result. As for his overall results, I'm not too sure because he is not very willing to share, but just know that now some of my students are actually getting into the A range. All right, with that said, let's move on to the O-levels, right? I think that's what you've been waiting for. G3 students, right? First, we'll start out with AD, right? AD, I have him for a year as well. So most of the time he's been failing English, and English has been his weakest subject. Alright, so he started from the DC range, and I have him for a year, and the result for the O-levels is C6. I put a bracket EAE, meaning that this boy has been already been offered by offered a course, right, for the early admission exercise. Okay, and he already got a place in a Republic Poly. So all you need to do is to clear his English, right? So parents' objective met, so he's happy, parents are happy, I'm very happy for him, right? YK, second student, right? I have this student for a year as well. Start out with the D to C range, right? He's failing. Result C6. This boy, his weakest subject is language, so language English definitely not his forte. He doesn't use English at home. So he finds himself at a disadvantage, but he's very strong with numbers, right? Maths and science, he got distinctions. So there's definitely some course for him in the Poly, right? That play to his strength. So he's still sorting out his course. But certainly he's headed for Poly, right? But if YK fails his English, then there's a problem, right? Because then he may find himself having some trouble trying to meet the minimum criteria for some of the courses that he's trying to apply. So minimum C6, and you clear O-levels, right? You score distinctions for some of the stronger subjects, and you go to the Poly or desired course, right? That's the end result, okay? And then we have JZ, right? JZ, his language is again not his strongest. He's very strong in maths and science as well. So maths and science, he got distinctions, right? And he's always been around the B4, C5 range. And he seems to be just more interested in the maths and science subjects than his languages, right? So his personal goal is actually a B4, right? So we can see from the O-level results that he had gotten a B4 for himself. And again, I'm very happy for him, right? Because he's already been offered a place, I think mechatronics, through the early admission exercise. So he's happy with the results, right? And parents are happy, and I'm happy, very proud of this boy. So all clear, right? But that's not the end. For this year, after teaching for about 10 years, I finally have two students who managed to score distinctions for English. So AY started off with the B range, so there's some refinement to be done if he wants to get an A result, and finally he got it, result A2. So he's headed for JC and likely coming back for GP tuition. right? Then the other student, RY, this student have been with me for 4 years, if I remember correctly, right? And for this student, his languages are always strong, right? His English is one of his strongest subjects, so we start off with the B range. But throughout the years, we have been trying to push him up to the A range and always get like B3, B3, B3. So we're very happy that finally O levels he managed to get an A2, right? So a distinction, A looks better than B, all right? So again, this boy have also been through the I think the direct admission program, right? Been admitted to the JC of his choice. So he's also doing JC and he's also coming back for GP tuition. So end of this video by just saying that whether you get a result, a C6, A2, B3, B4, it really depends, right? Doesn't mean that C6 is a bad result. So if your personal goal is C6, right, and because you understand, right, that is your level of for the language, right, you understand that is not your talent, right, and your strengths are elsewhere, okay, and your goal is to just get a C6, then hopefully some of the lessons that these students have been attending have helped them, okay, attaining their C6. So C6, they are still celebrating, right? They're still very happy. Okay, one of my students told me that some of his friends failed, right? English, okay. So getting a C6 is better than a fail, definitely, right? So he's going to poly and they are happy. Okay, for those who get admitted through the early admission exercise, again, as long as you clear English, don't do badly for some of the other subjects, you'll do just fine. Okay, as for those aiming to go JC and eventually get to uni, you want to try to aim higher, right? Minimum B3 and above. Okay, so this year I'm very happy. This is fantastic, right? So two of my students managed to hit their goals as well, right? Trying to aim for A's, right? And both of them got it. Both of them got A2 for this year. They're headed towards their desired JCs. So for those who are serious in signing up for lessons, you know where to find me, englishttuition.org. Many of the slots are already not available. But if you think some of the online courses will help you out, do check out the website. More details there. With that said, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.